Today, we're diving into one of India's most powerful and, honestly, most mysterious sacred sites, the Kamakhya Temple. This is a place that really makes you rethink what a temple even is and what it truly means to worship.
To really get to the heart of what Kamakhya is all about, let me ask you a question. Picture the most sacred spot in any holy place you can think of. You know, that inner sanctum where all the energy is focused. Now imagine if that shrine
Had nothing in it. No statue, no idol, nothing carved by human hands to represent a god. It's a wild idea, isn't it? If there's nothing there to pray to, then what on earth are people worshiping? And that question brings us right to our first section, a temple without an idol. Because this right here is the absolute core of what makes Kamakhya so incredibly unique. So, here's the answer. In the heart of the temple, in the holiest of holies, there's no statue. Instead, there's a natural cleft in the bedrock, shaped like a yoni, or a womb. And get this, it's a living shrine, constantly moist from a natural underground spring. This isn't just a symbol of the divine feminine. In the eyes of devotees, it is the divine feminine, the very source of creation, worshipped in its most raw, natural form. Okay, so why here? Why this specific spot on the Nilachal Hills in Assam? What makes it the center of such incredible power? Well, to understand that, we have to go way, way back to a cosmic origin story, the birth of a goddess.
Let me break this incredible story down for you. It all starts with the Goddess Sati's self-immolation. Her husband, Lord Shiva, is just overcome with grief, and he starts carrying her body across the universe, threatening to destroy everything with his sorrow. So, to save the cosmos, Lord Vishnu steps in. He uses his divine discus to break apart Sati's body. The pieces fall to earth, and each spot they land on becomes a sacred site, a Shakti Peetha. But here's the most crucial part of the whole story. Her yoni, her womb, the very source of creation, landed right here.
And that is why Kamakhya isn't just a holy site. It's considered the epicenter of Shakti, that divine feminine energy that's believed to power the entire universe. This is the place where creation itself is said to have physically touched the earth. You know, even the name itself holds this beautiful promise. Kama means desire, and Aksha means fulfillment. So Kamakhya is the goddess who is believed to grant the pure, heartfelt desires of her followers.
But the temple's story isn't just about cosmic events. It's also deeply woven into local legend. And one of the most famous tales is about a demon king's bargain.
So, the story goes that there was this incredibly powerful, and maybe a little arrogant, king named Narakasura. He became completely infatuated with the goddess Kamala and was absolutely determined to marry her. He was a serious force to be reckoned with, but he was about to meet his match. The goddess, obviously not wanting to marry him, but knowing how powerful he was, gave him a seemingly impossible challenge. She said, "If you can build a staircase all the way from the bottom of the hill to my temple and do it before dawn, then I will marry you."
Narakasura totally took her up on it. He used his immense power, summoned thousands of his demon workers, and they worked like crazy all through the night. And unbelievably, he was about to pull it off. But just as they were about to lay the final stone, the goddess played a brilliant trick. She made a rooster crow long before sunrise, creating a false dawn. Narakasura, thinking he'd run out of time and failed, just stopped, completely defeated by a simple illusion.
The lesson from this story is pretty powerful, right? Is that brute force and worldly power are absolutely no match for divine will and wisdom. And that unfinished staircase? You can still see parts of it today, a permanent reminder of that lesson.
Now, this ancient power isn't just something from old myths. It's a living, breathing part of the culture here. And you see that most clearly during the temple's most important event, the Festival of Creation. 3. For 3 days every single year, right around the summer monsoon, the main doors of the temple are shut. No one goes in. The whole place enters this state of quiet and deep reverence. And why? Well, it's because of a really profound belief. During these 3 days, it's said that the goddess, who is a manifestation of Mother Earth herself, is having her annual period of menstruation. The waters of that sacred spring are even said to run red, symbolizing the awesome, life-giving power of fertility and renewal. When the temple finally reopens on the 4th day, devotees line up to receive very special blessings. One is called Angodek, which is holy water from that sacred spring. The other is Angabastra, small pieces of red cloth that are believed to have been soaked in the goddess's creative energy. These aren't just souvenirs, they're considered incredibly powerful symbols of fertility, creation, and life itself.
So, we've gone through the myth, the local legend, and this incredible festival. Let's try to tie it all together. What does Kamakhya really truly represent?
At its core, Kamakhya is the embodiment of Shakti, the raw, primal, cosmic energy of the universe. It's a full-throated celebration of creativity and the divine feminine power that gives birth to literally everything. It honors the entire cycle of life: birth, life, death, and renewal. And because it focuses so much on this primal energy, it's become one of the most important centers in the world for Tantra, a spiritual path that's all about directly experiencing and channeling this very power. So, to just quickly recap what makes Kamakhya so special, it's considered the most powerful of all the Shakti Peethas, the literal place where creation is said to have fallen. The form of worship is totally unique. No idols, just a living, breathing rock. It hosts the Ambubachi Mela, a one-of-a-kind festival celebrating the fertility of the earth, and the entire hill it sits on is believed to just radiate with this intense spiritual energy.
When you get right down to it, Kamakhya is so much more than just a temple. It's a living, powerful celebration of the feminine energy that creates and sustains the entire universe.
And that leaves us with one last, really big question to think about. In a world that's so full of symbols and statues, what does it truly mean for a culture to worship the very source of life itself in its most natural, raw, and fundamental form?